When Prince Charles tested positive for COVID-19 on February 10, 2022, all eyes were on his mother, 95-year-old Queen Elizabeth II. Charles, who had already contracted COVID once before at the start of the pandemic in March 2020, had been with the Queen just 2 days prior to his diagnosis. Although she is both vaccinated and boosted, the Queen had to be closely monitored and tested frequently. On February 20th, Buckingham Palace released a statement announcing that the fears of so many across the world had come true. Queen Elizabeth, the longest-reigning British monarch, had contracted COVID, a virus that often causes more severe illness among the elderly. The palace statement read in part, "The Queen is experiencing mild cold-like symptoms, but expects to continue light duties at Windsor over the coming week. She will continue to receive medical attention and will follow all the appropriate guidelines." However, 2 days after her positive test result, her light duties have now become even lighter. Although there has been no word on whether the Queen's condition has worsened in the 2 days since she tested positive for COVID-19, she was forced to cancel her virtual engagements on February 22, 2022. A second Buckingham Palace statement read, "As Her Majesty is still experiencing mild cold-like symptoms, she has decided not to undertake her planned virtual engagements today, but will continue with light duties." CNN reports that those light duties likely include signing daily documents and responding to letters. A palace source told the outlet that whether the Queen will have to cancel other engagements this week remains to be seen, and that those decisions will be made closer to the time of the engagements. Over the last few months, the Queen's health has been of concern as she began using a walking stick in public and had to spend one night in the hospital for tests before canceling several international trips and scaling back her usual holiday activities. The Daily Mail reported on February 22nd that she is considerably frailer and thinner than she was a year ago. As the palace announced that the Queen would be canceling any virtual engagements due to her COVID-19 diagnosis, reports emerged that the royal aides are monitoring the Queen more carefully, but that her symptoms so far do not have anyone alarmed, but they are being cautious, according to the Daily Mail. Commenting on the news, BBC reporter Daniela Ralph appeared on the UK's Today program on February 21st and said, "There are a couple of obvious aggravating factors here. Firstly, that she's 95 years old, almost 96, and that immediately puts her in the vulnerable category. Also, when you see the Queen now, she is considerably thinner and frailer than she was a year ago, and of course she will now have to be carefully monitored." She added that there was some speculation the Queen would be treated with a COVID-19 antiviral medication, but that was not confirmed. Most commentators agree that the Queen being vaccinated and boosted against COVID is significantly improving her outlook.
If she had contracted COVID 2 years ago, pre all the vaccines, I think we might be in a very, very different situation, possibly with a different monarch.
When the Queen met with dignitaries at Windsor Castle on February 16th, she was seen in a video standing with her walking stick and telling the men that she can't move in a joking manner as they walked to her. It was the first time she had met with anyone in person since Charles' diagnosis the week before. The Queen's COVID diagnosis comes after a very sad and dramatic 2021 and a scandal and celebration at the start of 2022. Queen Elizabeth II lost her husband of more than 70 years, Prince Philip, in April of last year. In June, a new great-granddaughter for the Queen was born to Meghan Markle and even named Lilibet in honor of her. But the Queen herself has yet to meet her due to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new life in California. As 2022 began, the Queen had to contend with second son Prince Andrew's sexual abuse scandal, which saw him settling in a lawsuit against him that alleged he had had sexual contact with Virginia Giuffre when she was still a teenager. The scandal also found him entangled in the world of the late Jeffrey Epstein, who was accused of trafficking young women for sex. The Queen subsequently stripped Andrew of his military titles, as well as his royal patronages. The COVID diagnosis also came just 2 weeks after the Queen celebrated 70 years on the throne and announced she wished for Camilla Parker Bowles to be called Queen Consort when Charles ascends to the throne. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.